Bazaar Morning Call, live from the CNBC TV 18 headquarters in Mumbai.
Good morning. Welcome to Bazaar Morning Call. I'm Lata and Anuj and Sonia from their respective homes. It's Friday, so there is a cheer in my voice, but there is a profit-taking hue actually across Asia. I can't say lack of cheer, but whether you look at Wall Street or Asia or Europe, they've all been sitting on 6 continuous days of gains, and so there is a temptation to take profit, especially perhaps ahead of the weekend. We saw that tendency in India itself yesterday, and maybe that can continue, but I think one end will be held up like it was done yesterday as well. Reliance ended 2% higher yesterday, contributed about 30 points to the Nifty. And that might continue because this is, while it is one more investment, as most people would say, this is a sovereign wealth fund. So in a way, it's another category of funds that have come, and these are real long-term guys. So that might also be something the market would take notice. And therefore, to that extent, one end of the market is saved. But, even as these dollars flow and the dollar index keeps falling, it's not very good for infotech stocks. We saw them weak yesterday as well. The other factor I would really worry about is the kind of profit taking you're seeing in the Nifty Bank. Now, Nifty Bank is one thing. Maybe there are a couple of banks over there who are very strong. But I would really worry about the other banks after the Supreme Court's observations. It's only observations. There's another hearing on June 12th. But those observations are worrying. It can really topple the banking sector. And yesterday's profit-taking in Nifty Bank came after Ashmit Kumar, made those, broke the news about the SC's observations. So I just want to put that on the table. That's not mere profit-taking. The Supreme Court's observations are serious. Anuj.
Good morning. Well, for starters, the market has corrected after a big run. It's been a 6-day run in which the Nifty rallied 1,000 points, the Bank Nifty rallied 4,000 points. I think yesterday was very interesting. And I think this point on Reliance, the fact that it's a sovereign fund who's investing, I think all of this is now pointing towards perhaps some kind of a big global listing for Jio platforms. Also, what was interesting yesterday was that banks cooled off, and the digital part once again rallied. Reliance was up, IT stocks were surging yesterday, and we had Bharti and a couple of other idea stocks also moving up. So that equation that we had going about the digital part moving up once again resumed its move yesterday, and the Bank Nifty paused after that logical target of 21,500 on the Bank Nifty. So I think right now perhaps Nifty is offering you better bang for the buck. And in that, what's very clear is that the erstwhile resistance of 99.50 to 10,000 is now a very strong support. And that's why yesterday you could not break 99.50. In fact, from 99.50, the market had a decent pullback, about 70-75 point pullback in the last hour of trade. Now, FIs have again bought in cash market, so that liquidity-driven rally is continuing. But there's first sign of selling in index futures, though most of it was profit-taking. There was no fresh short, only long unwinding, as you can see in the index futures data. So I think the first trade for smart money is to buy again 99.50, 10,000 with a perhaps 50-100 point stop loss, and then see if that level is holding or not. But the Bank Nifty is slightly vulnerable now to correct a bit more, especially after a 4,000 point rally. So possible it can move towards 19,500. And there's one more worry that I have about this market, which is the continuous promoter selling and large investors selling. And some of them have been really marquee names, and some of the smartest promoters are selling their own stake in the market. Now nobody knows the value of their stock more than the promoter. So a lot of times the market gives a halting signal on the downside when promoters start to buy, and topping out signal when promoters start to sell. So that's my only worry about this market, because this is liquidity driven, disconnected with the economy. So you don't want to preempt where it tops, but at the same time you want to keep your risk management in place and keep moving your stop losses if you have been long on this market, because at the end of the day, let's accept it that this is a large dollar driven rally, and you have to play it, but you have to be careful. Sonia, good morning.
Hi Anuj, morning. Take your point entirely. What a rally it's been, right? I mean, leaving yesterday in the previous 6 trading sessions, the Nifty was up over 1,000 points. And if you look at the FIs, they've been buying consistently now for the last 5 days. Also, two big cues today would be SBI and L&T's earnings. Of course, we'll react to L&T on Monday, but these are two barometers of the economy, so to speak, in the banking and the capital goods space. So it would be interesting to watch that. But Anuj, given that, I just wanted to come back to that point you were making about the shift in focus away from banks and towards technology. Yesterday, Bharti rallied. There were all those reports of that Amazon deal. Today, you have the Mubadala deal for Reliance. Do you think this shift in leadership is something that could sort of carry forth even into today? And how does one really approach it from an overall perspective, an investor perspective, that is?
Yeah, it may happen. The only difference is on Jio, the deal is official. On Bharti and earlier in Vodafone Idea, what you had was what I call a bit of a kite flying. Let this these deals become official, because the only worry that I had yesterday was also because it was expiry, is that if this deal was to happen, then why would Bharti promoters sell their stake just about 15 days back? Anyway, that's a different point. But yes, the leadership shift had started to happen. Then the banks decided to come back big time. But the last 2 days are giving an indication once again that perhaps the banks take a bit of a backseat, perhaps driven by this news, and the digital part takes over. Like yesterday, not just Reliance, Bharti, IT stocks did really well. So I think that's something that I'll watch out for on the follow through.
Okay, all right, we'll keep an eye out on that. But Lata, on the banks itself, on the Supreme Court, ruling that came out, how do you see all of it shape up for banks today?
I did speak yesterday as well on this issue. But Anuj, I just wanted to come back on your liquidity issue for a minute. See, yes, promoters know their company best and their selling should be taken very seriously. But we are also in unusual circumstances, and therefore promoters need to simply shore up money. I mean, everybody, they would have other commitments in unlisted stocks, and therefore this time some of the promoters selling could be forced because of 90 days of no revenue in the companies where they are. I just want to put that on the table. That doesn't apply to all the promoters selling, but it is something which we should take note of. We are in very unusual circumstances. So risk capital is getting scarcer and scarcer, and therefore some of it is being pulled perhaps for unlisted responsibilities as well. Then coming back to what Sonia asked me, it is not up until June 12th that the next hearing is, so it's not as if the Nifty Bank or the PSU banks have to react now. But I want to point out that this is a very real problem. We've had loan waivers, but in all cases of loan waiver, the tab is picked up by the government. You can't tell a banker who has to service depositors his primary responsibility is to the depositor, from whom he has loaned money, uncollateral loans he has taken from the depositor. He has a responsibility to return that with interest. And how will he do that if he cannot charge the borrower? So even when farm loan waivers are waived, farm loan interest is waived, or even principal, it's the government which reimburses the banks. That's very important. And that is the point that the court has to take. I think in the court, one person was missing, and that is the depositor. He's usually missing even on CNBC tables. He's usually missing in the media. We talk about borrowers and the need to lower loans and the cost of interest. We are not adequately representing the depositor's safety. And, if interests are sacrificed, which is what the banks will have to do if they have to sacrifice 2 lakh crore of interest income, they will have to cut it in terms of what they pay the depositor. And below a particular level, savings culture can be threatened. Then the entire economic system and banking system will go through further problems. So I seriously worry that we should not take this kind of protection of the health of the economy to this level of interpretation. The health of the depositor is equally important for the economy to survive. And I do hope that the Apex Court will be convinced by both Finance Ministry, that is the government, and RBI explaining to them the situation. I wouldn't be surprised if the depositor's body impleaded itself. I already heard some noises yesterday that they want to be represented in this case. So maybe everything will settle down, but I would worry till I hear the last word from the Apex Court, because it may be only looking at one side of the situation. We spoke with the former Reserve Bank Governor, Dr. Subbarao, yesterday on this issue, and I want you to listen in to what he has to say, that banks and RBI have a primary obligation towards the depositor.
So banks